Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Darksiders. In the last episode, we came here to the Hollows, where we obtained... Oh, that wasn't meant to do at all. There we go, we obtained the Tremor Gauntlet, which allows us to crack through those blue pesky, that's not a word, pesky blue crystals that we've been seeing all around the world. And so now, the dungeon layout has very much changed. Let's open this Beholder's Door. What I mean by the dungeon layout has changed is there's a lot of stuff we can get through that we couldn't before, because now... we can smash through these things with relative ease. So, let's proceed onwards. My only issue with this dungeon is that there are a lot of tunnel-y sections in this. I can see, obviously it's a fucking disused subway thing, of course there's going to be a lot of tunnel stuff, but a series of straight tunnels doesn't necessarily make good gameplay, but you know what does? This is the kind of main mechanic we'll be dealing with for now, which is basically what the other thing that Tremor Gauntlet does. That's not what I thought it was. That is, there we go. So there's a green chest on the ground here in case you're still damaged from the fight last time, even though there's also a green chest in that thing. But there's a Wrath chest there for healing up our Wrath. Now there are stairs to the upstairs bit over here. There is a switch here that we can hit, but don't do it for now. Not only actually, no, I was going to say not only does it do nothing, it doesn't do nothing, it does do something, but the something that it does isn't particularly useful at the moment, because you need this thing. So, the game now tells us, Shockwave Punch! Oh, sorry, I really spat at the mic there. Press and hold Y to use the Tremor Gauntlet to strike and quickly propel an object while dragging it. Indeed, hold B to drag it, and then while you're dragging it, hold Y, and you send it flying. So now the thing has landed on this, and now at this point we can lift it up. Well, I mean, we can hit the switch. You weren't to know that hitting the switch lifted it up, but then I went and spoiled it by saying something stupid like I love you. I don't even know what that's from. I think it's a song, but I'm not entirely sure. It is a song, but I don't know if it's a song that's specifically from something. Here I've positioned this at this kind of break in the fence, because now, if we can push it close enough and then hit it, we position it onto the next one, and you can see exactly how this is going, except this next one is a little harder to position. We need to get it, that's it in position. If we now hit this, well, spin. I keep saying hit for switches, but we're not hitting, we're spinning. This brings us up to the same level as that one, but obviously it's not going to make that distance. We need this one to be lowered down, so in order to do that, we hit this switch, and you'll notice over there is a soldier artifact, so I'm going to quickly hop over and grab that. Another one for our collection. I think there's 3 in this dungeon in total. There's 2 soldiers and a champion. There's one, well, there's largely speaking a champion in each dungeon, but it's not quite that simple. Now that's all nice and lined up, we can head back over here. And once again, use Shockwave Punch. Or Falcon Punch, as I like to refer to it. It's definitely got that Falcon Punch kind of feel to it, which is always great. Never understood Falcon Punch. Captain Falcon's just one of those characters that, the way he is in Super Smash Bros. Is just nothing like... well, he's a driver, like he's a racer. I can see why they wanted to include him in there, but I can also understand why he has, like, no powers at all, because... but, my god, why doesn't he do that more in F-Zero, where he's racing along and then suddenly like, oh, fucking Pico in his golden goose, or whatever the fuck his vehicle is, has overtaken me. I'm just gonna smack him one with my fiery fists. There's weirder shit in F-Zero. There's goddamn zombies and spooky ghosts in that game. I don't know if anyone ever played the story mode of F-Zero GX. I love F-Zero GX, it's a wonderful game. The story mode is both really hard and makes no fucking sense. Because it's quite hard, I think, to write a story-driven game where every level of that is some form of race. Which is a bit ludicrous, to say the least. I said I was going to use Chaos Eater to charge up with my Chaos, and I haven't been doing so. Just because these things take like nothing to kill. You can actually kill them just with B if you just do that. Pull the bastards apart, and that does give you a couple of health souls out of them, which is nice. Now you'll notice we are actually back above the room we started the episode in, where we got the Tremor Gauntlet, which is kind of cool. But we want to cross that straight over, and I'm going to pull some of these guys apart for health. Or not. Ah, there we go. Oh, that's a leg. So, one of the interesting mechanics of this dungeon is throughout the entire dungeon, the Griever pops up. And here she is again. When you see stuff like that happening, like the ceiling look like it's going to collapse, my advice is get the fuck out of the way. Oh, dear gate. So they've thrown some more spike minions at us, which I'm just going to slam into the wall. Wow, only 2 hits from this, and they're already ready for a... oh no, that was almost hit it 3 times. The Tremor Gauntlet, as you can see, is slow, but it's bloody powerful. Like, you can see how quickly we got these guys down to... use your words, Doctor. Finishing move territory. I think We're still not quite safe. There's the Griever again. Oh, hello, you. She is uniquely ugly. She's like kind of an insecty looking thing.
Looks like she played you again. She won't succeed, I guess.
So, we now are introduced as well to fire minions, which are the same as the other minions, except they've got more health, and they also have a ranged attack. They can spit fire at you, which is quite unfortunate. Tremor Gauntlet is quite effective on them. Oh, I meant to do this. Well, at least show this off. While we're doing that finishing blow, Tremor Gauntlet is a weapon. It's your third weapon, so you switch between it and the scythe as your active secondary weapon, but it's the third true weapon in the game, so we can actually put an enhancement on it. Of all the useful ones, I'm going to put Combat Lore on, because it's already like, so what, Chaos Eater's level 2 and a bit, Scythe's 1 and a bit, the Tremor Gauntlet is level 0, and will take a very long time to level up. So Combat Lore, the thing we got from Ulthane, will just hopefully help it level up a little bit faster. Now, we have another large crystal in front of us. Let's smash it in. I went for a drink during that, and that's not the crystal I was thinking of at all. Now, we are back here. You will probably... Ow. Fuck off. Ooh. Ah, damn it, didn't even kill him one. Well, so to say, Scythe is great for taking these guys out. I think I got them all. Well, they're certainly not a problem anymore. This is the crystal I was thinking of. Note this crystal is slightly damp in appearance. So, this room, you should recognise, is actually the room with the gas pipes in that we started off in earlier at the beginning of last episode. We've now drained the water level in it, and we've uncovered a whole second room underneath it, which is actually really cool, I think, as a mechanic. Over here as well, we have a chest that we couldn't access before, which contains the dungeon map, just in case you needed it. Obviously I don't, but I'm a perfectionist, at least when it comes to these kind of games. It's actually weird, because I'm not. Like, before I started doing YouTube stuff, 100%ing a game never bothered me, and it's not something I've ever really done. Like, Mass Effect was an interesting one for kind of making that clear to me, is that in Mass Effect, through like 10 different playthroughs probably of the first Mass Effect, I've done everything, but, oh, it's another crystal here to smash, by the way. Which just reveals an empty thing, but that's useful for a reason. Yeah, I've realised I have, through various playthroughs, done everything in Mass Effect, but I've never done everything in one playthrough. And like Wind Waker and like all of the Zelda games, Twilight Princess, I like that as well, where I've kind of, at some point I've done everything, but never actually 100%ed any one playthrough, so it's quite different, because I've never really... Ooh, puzzles are afoot. Yeah, it's never something that was kind of bothered me, but a Let's Play really weirdly kind of like... Oh, I'll talk about that in a second. So, we need to push this train car out of the way. You can use Shockwave Slam on these to move them a lot faster. With that one out the way, we want to pull this one onto the kind of switching rails. And with it in place, you know, it's in place, like it's not overlapping because those lights are green, we can turn the switch again. Yeah, Let's Plays weirdly, like, the only way I can describe it is they hold you to account because you're doing this in front of people, even though it's not in front of people, obviously just on my own in my bedroom. But I'm kind of in front of people in a sense of it's out there on the internet, therefore I kind of want to make sure if I'm going to do it with it being out there, I do want to do it properly, and that kind of, it means it kind of feels more like a kind of, you have a reason to try and 100% stuff rather than just to satisfy yourself, because it doesn't usually satisfy me, but to do it. Well, you can see what our goal was here. Yeah, kind of just 100%ing a game for the sake of it doesn't particularly grab me as a thing to do, but I definitely have the logic that if I'm going to do it on the channel, I kind of want to do it properly, so that kind of does drive me to 100% it, which is quite good. It's making me play games in a way that I otherwise wouldn't, which is quite nice. And that's kind of why there are games where I've kind of played them a lot, but I kind of don't consider that I haven't properly played them until I've Let's Played them. Because that's a very different experience. You'll notice we're also somewhere we've already been before, because you will recognise this extremely complicated series of demonic growths here. Let's climb along the whole thing. Now, on the other side, we are technically backtracking at the moment. This is Well, you'll recognise soon, this room here is where we first fought the Griever. And it has a new wonderful enemy in it for us. The Wraith. So she's quite fast, but can be stunned quite easily with the Tremor Gauntlet, and then you can do damage to her. You don't have to do that stunning at all, but it does just give you a slightly better moment to hit her, because she's very easily stunned, which is always good. What you really need to do is just keep wailing on her, and just keep an eye out for when... Oh, bloody hell. Chair! Chair! Whoop! Ow, that's not what I wanted to do at all. I wanted to pull her head off. There we go. Once you kill her, another Wraith plus 2 little bitches appear. Oh, she's got a creepy sounding voice. So, they're relatively easy to fight Wraiths, but they're one of those enemies, well, basically, I was going to say one of those enemies, but it's basically like every enemy in Darksiders, which is easy enough to fight if you're focusing on just them, but if it's them and a lot of other enemies going on, can suddenly become problematic. And almost every enemy in Darksiders actually does that, to be honest, so... I'm just going to reap some souls from these guys. A few extra souls will never go amiss. Wonderful! Are we done yet? That doesn't sound like we're done yet. Ah, more enemies. Wonderful. Oh, they call me Samuel's dog. Oh god, another Wraith. Bloody hell. Whoop. Right, well, I should kill... Oh, I love how much it properly wallops them when you hit them with it. Blade Geezer. Oh, that's Stone Skin. Still good, though. Stone Skin not only makes me more defensive, but also increases my attack power, which is something never to be sniffed on. It's worth noting as well, I'm pretty sure, haven't confirmed this, but I'm fairly sure that Stone Skin also makes you either immune or much more resistant to being knocked back from attacks, because it seems like my combos just basically aren't ever interrupted when I'm using Stone Skin, which is a really nice touch, actually, to be honest. Certainly makes combat faster, if not necessarily easier, because obviously you are still taking damage from being hit. Up here, we couldn't go this way before because I had a blue crystal in front of it, but obviously now we can just go wham, bam, thank you ma'am, and break through. And now we're kind of into a new area of this dungeon. That's what this dungeon does do quite well, that you kind of go from areas that you already have been through, then you unlock new passages through them with the Tremor Gauntlet, and then you're into new areas. This box here has a switch on the side of it. If you hit the switch and quickly hop onto the box rises up and allows us to proceed over here through to our next room. Now this is another tunnely room, if I remember correctly. It's got a lot of gas pipes running through it, so let's use the old crossblade to light that one, and then there's another at the end we can also light. I think I eventually got them. I targeted several things a little too much there. Now this is easy to miss. If you go behind these train cars here, I can't fit through there. Must be through that one, and there we go. If you go behind these train cars, then you get... God damn it, where are you? There we go. A Lifestone Shard, which is great. Now we've brought fire through, and we've got a red crystal, so obviously what we're in need of is a bomb growth, but there doesn't seem to be one around. Let's head through here. Oh, here's another little... Oh, more busters. Wonderful. Oh, ow, that hurts. So, there is a Beholder's Key door here. Well, that's a dead end. There's a Beholder's Key door here, which is worth remembering for later. And there is, of course, an inert bomb growth, which we need to bring back here. I think you can possibly throw this in such a way that you throw it through the fire and it sticks, which is quite cool. I'm going to try and do it. Come on. There we go. Nope, didn't work. Well, either way, let's target the fire and then target the bomb growth. Come on. There we go. And bam. Ooh! Wow, I thought I learned in the Twilight Cathedral that those things can't damage you, but they very clearly can, because that one damaged the living shit out of me. Now, this next room, it looks like there's quite a lot going on, and there is, but we can't really do anything with any of it yet. You can climb down there if you want, but I assure you, there is nothing you can do there for now. Oh, we have a new attack, by the way, with the scythe. We can do that while in midair. Rather than falling down, we kind of hover in midair and do it, which is quite cool. I believe that's either unique to the scythe or we purchased it. Can't exactly remember which. Have I missed a chest somewhere? I have the strong feeling that I have. Yep, there's a blue chest right there. My spidey sense is very strange in this game. Let's grab that. and then head on over. That was really weird. I kind of pronounced every word of that sentence as an individual experience in its own right, rather than as part of a sentence. If we proceed on here, we find a large room with water at the bottom and not much in it. There's a chest on the other side, but we can't get to it. So we need to actually drop into the room itself, into the water itself, and if we come here, you'll find a little way up to the north, which has a platform here, and... where the fuck? Oh, there we go. There the fuck we go. That way you can climb up here, and there's a Shadow Flight key, so I haven't used that in a while. Shadow Current, sorry, they're called. And now we're in a different room. We have a switch, but I'm not going to hit the switch yet, because the switch activates a mechanism which doesn't currently work. You'll see what I mean in just a second. Ow, ow, come on, fuck off. Oh, it's so satisfying using the Reaper to kill them. If you smash this crystal, you free a cog, and that's what I meant about the mechanism not working. But you'll notice over to our right is another cog of the mechanism, which also needs to be freed. Let's kill these locusts. Wonderful. Now we have some blue crystals to smash. Quite a few of them here. Let's work on them. There we go, that was what I was looking for. One of them, I could have forgotten which one, contains an inert bomb growth. Now, there's this chest here, and there are two ways of doing this. When I first did this game, I didn't realise the, in inverted commas, obvious way of doing this, and made a bit of a twat of myself. And I will show you exactly what I mean here, because you'll notice up and straight ahead of me there is, well, not straight ahead of me now, but it was straight ahead of me, is a bit of fire. There is basically no way you can target both the fire and if I were to throw a bomb plant, well, I'll do it now. If I throw a bomb plant onto inert bomb growth even, onto the red crystal, it sticks there. But you cannot target both. What I did was laid a huge sequence of bomb growths all along there as they all went bam, 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 about 11 of them, one after the other. And then eventually, once you've done that, that sets it off quite nicely. Not what you're supposed to do though. You're supposed to use actually what the dungeon learned you, which is this trick of spreading fire between gas pipes. So you spread it up to there, and then you'll notice by the start there is another one. Always good to remember in this game, you can do quite a lot of stuff in midair. Most attacks will kind of freeze you in midair, so it's not like you have to do stuff while you're falling. From here, we can target that, and then target that final pipe, or not. Target that, and then target the final pipe. And it may have automatically gone on and targeted the bomb growth. It did! That's one way of doing it. With that exploded, we can now go along and climb up here, and over and use the Tremor Gauntlet to free the other part of the mechanism. Having done that, there is now a point to hitting this switch. God, I do love that sound effect, the ba-ba-da-da-bomph. Even though it is just doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, but manly. But it's still amusing. Inside the chest, I do love the free camera in this, it's very nice. Here's a Beholder's Key, and much like last episode, we're going to end this episode having grabbed a Beholder's Key. So, thank you very much for watching. We've come much further into the Griever's tunnels, the hollows. Next episode, we will be tracking down and hopefully having our final confrontation with the Griever herself. Thank you very much, and good day.